The new Samsung Galaxy Watch 9 looks like a home run on paper. It comes with a thinner body, faster processing power, and smarter features. Samsung packed this device with new health tools, a brand new processor, integrated artificial intelligence, and a bigger battery. On the surface, it seems like an easy decision for anyone looking for a top-tier smartwatch. However, the real story of any gadget reveals itself only when you take it off the spec sheet and wear it on your wrist every single day. There are specific drawbacks to this device that only become clear through daily use. Before spending your hard-earned cash, you need to understand these hidden issues. They can change your perspective on whether this upgrade makes sense for your daily routine. The first major issue comes down to battery performance. Samsung did increase the physical battery sizes for both the smaller and larger models. The company advertises up to 40 hours of usage with the always-on display turned off. That claim sounds great during a product presentation. But real-world usage paints a very different picture. A smartwatch is constantly running tasks in the background. Your heart rate sensor, sleep tracking, step counting, notifications, Bluetooth connection, and background apps are all pulling power at the same time. If you decide to turn on the always-on display, track workouts, and monitor your sleep every night, you will not hit those maximum estimates. This creates a constant scheduling conflict for the user. A watch designed to track your sleep requires time on the charger. You end up in a situation where you have to choose between tracking your overnight health or charging the device before leaving for work. If long battery life without frequent charging is your top priority, this watch might still frustrate you. The second issue involves the charging experience itself. Samsung updated the hardware, but early users are noticing inconsistent charging behavior. Some owners report that topping up the battery takes significantly longer than expected. Going from a low percentage to a full charge can sometimes take well over an hour. This does not mean every single unit is defective, because charging speed depends on room temperature, charging bricks, and background software tasks. However, inconsistent charging speeds directly compound the battery life issue. If you wake up with 20% battery remaining, you need to quickly charge the device while getting ready. If that charge takes longer than planned, the convenience of the smartwatch quickly disappears. While software updates might improve this issue over time, it remains a point of frustration for early buyers right now. The third issue relates to the actual leap in generation-over-generation performance. The internal platform gets a major upgrade with a new chipset, which makes navigating menus smoother and opening apps faster. On paper, it is a big step forward. In practice, if you already own a recent Galaxy Watch, the daily experience does not feel radically different. You're still interacting with the same circular screen, the same core operating system, and the same general layout. The new health metrics and AI capabilities are nice additions, but they do not completely transform how you interact with a watch on a daily basis. If your current watch functions without lag and tracks your workouts reliably, the real-world difference of this new model might feel surprisingly small. The fourth major issue is ecosystem lock-in. A smartwatch should ideally offer maximum functionality regardless of the phone in your pocket. The Galaxy Watch 9 connects to standard Android phones, but Samsung reserves several key features strictly for Galaxy smartphone owners. Features like electrocardiogram readings, irregular heart rhythm alerts, and sleep apnea detection require a Samsung phone to function. If you pair this watch with another Android brand, you receive a pared-down experience despite paying full price for the hardware. Furthermore, if you use an iPhone, this smartwatch is completely incompatible. It simply will not work with iOS devices. This severe limitation locks non-Samsung users out of the complete experience, making it a much less attractive option for broad smartphone compatibility. The fifth problem centers directly around the health features. Samsung built an extensive suite of health and wellness monitoring into this watch. You get advanced sleep insights, continuous heart rate tracking, blood oxygen readings, cardio load metrics, and various body composition measurements. On paper, it looks like a complete medical lab wrapped around your wrist. But having access to endless streams of health data does not automatically mean that data is useful to you. Most users end up looking at these numbers without knowing how to turn them into actionable lifestyle changes. Furthermore, regional regulations and device dependencies mean that certain high-level features might not even be enabled in your country or on your specific phone model. If you are a dedicated athlete who carefully tracks every biometric shift, these tools offer real value. But if you only want to watch for basic step counts, workout tracking, and incoming phone calls, you are paying for complex sensors you will likely ignore after the first week. That brings us directly to problem number 6, which is the price tag. The base model enters the market at a premium price point, with larger sizes and cellular models pushing the cost even higher. At this price level, the device enters a brutally competitive space. You are no longer comparing this smartwatch against simple fitness bands. You are competing directly against top-tier wearables from other major tech brands. Some of these competitors offer multi-day battery endurance, specialized sports ecosystems, or broader platform compatibility for the exact same amount of money. The question isn't whether this watch is worth its price tag in a vacuum. The question is whether it offers the best overall value compared to every other option on the market. If you are deeply committed to the Samsung ecosystem, the pricing makes sense. But if you simply want the best smartwatch your money can buy, rival options make a very compelling case. The seventh and final problem is the upgrade dilemma for current smartwatch owners. If you already wear a recent model from the previous generation or two, upgrading to this version is very difficult to justify. Technology hardware has hit a plateau where annual improvements are incremental rather than revolutionary. Yes, the new processor is faster, the battery capacity is slightly higher, and the AI features are more integrated. But if your current watch still receives notifications instantly, tracks your daily runs, monitors your sleep, and easily lasts through the day, spending hundreds of dollars on minor refinements is rarely worth it. Samsung products also frequently receive significant trade-in promotions and price drops just a few months after launch. Buying it immediately at full retail price often results in paying top dollar for small feature increments that you could get later for a fraction of the cost. When you weigh all these points together, this smartwatch remains a powerful, polished piece of hardware, but it is far from a mandatory purchase for everyone. It excels if you are buying your very first high-end Android wearable, or if you are upgrading from a watch that is several years old. However, the modest real-world battery gains, reported charging inconsistencies, strict ecosystem barriers, high starting price, and incremental generation-over-generation upgrades mean you should think carefully before pulling the trigger. The smartest move for most people might be to audit what they actually use on their current watch every day, wait for early software patches to address charging behaviors, and hold out for upcoming promotional discounts.